I was wondering if you were going to bring that up today, man.
Steelers' Najee Harris expects to take time off as Pittsburgh looks to lessen his workload in 2022.
Yeah. Now, I know when I first saw take
what
time
does that
off,
mean?
I was like, are you taking time off?
Is he doing the NBA route?
I was like, man, what you doing? You load management? You going I'm sit this game, play this game. I thought he was talking Kawhi for a second. I got nervous. Then I was like, all right, take time off.
Tell Coach Tomlin I ain't going back in. Take off his jersey.
I was like, what you mean take time? I was like, hold on now. What you gonna sit all training camp? What you time taking off? But then as I read more of it, essentially they're talking about just lightening his workload a little bit. Something that we've talked about before. The 380 something touches he had last year? It's just not conducive for a long and productive season. It's not conducive for him having multi-year career. Like that's a lot. That weighs on you, man. I remember what L Bell was like. And granted, L Bell was a machine during those years, but you could tell the toll it took on him after the fact. And with Najee, I think that they're remembering how that went. And they're saying, well, hey, if we are able to, let's lighten that. If we can pull him out in certain, and he said it to him. He also said, he was like, man, if there is, he's like, we're still trying to figure out those areas where I can come off the field. But he's like, I still want to play. But he's like, we're understanding that, hey, it's going to be some times where I'm going to need to come off. Largely, though, that is going to depend on what RB2 and RB3 look like.
Right.
If those guys are good enough and consistent enough and the team trusts them, yeah, they'll be able to give them some light and load. But if that's not the case, if they're not confident in those guys, Coach Tomlin is not going to pull Najee off that field. I remember when he would tell L. Bell, man, if we go in and you know, we divvying it up, cool. But if you hot, I'm gonna ride that. I'm gonna ride the hot hand. Saw it with LeGarrette, he ain't like it. We know how that ended. Saw it with D-Lo, D'Angelo Williams, he was fine with it, and it worked well for both parties, for all of us. That's just the part of the way Coach Tomlin is. He loves when he's running. He loves a bell cow. He doesn't like committee. He wants one guy. So it's gonna take a lot for him to willingly in game say, hey man, stay out for a little bit. Like, you don't, in these games, you know it's going to be tight. You don't want to feel a drop off. So you got to make sure that guy that's going to be coming in for him can do that job and do it to a high enough level.
And we don't have a LeGarrette Blount or D'Angelo Williams. So if we didn't do it for them,
I know, bro.
We're doing it for the guys we have right now. And that's why we've talked about multiple times this offseason. Are the Steelers going to address RB2? And that market has shifted a little bit. Some of the guys that we talked about have already signed.
Tariq Cohen hurt.
Yeah, are we believing in Benny Snell that much, or whoever else we got?
McFarland. Like,
I just feel like it's going to be more of the same. Which isn't the worst thing for the team. It's not good for Najee, and it's not good for his longevity, though.
Yeah, that's the issue, bro.
But I was thinking this. Derrick Henry, and this is probably why maybe it's more in the Steelers' best interest of doing it now as opposed to just the player. I mean, some of his best years have come. Actually, his last 3 years have been his best years, where he's already 4, 5, 6 years into the league.
Yeah.
The problem, though, the difference, as I'm looking at his Pro Football Reference, though, here's what his carries were his first 3 years. 110 in 2016.
Yeah.
176 in 2017. 215 in 2018.
Yeah.
He didn't have the workload that he's getting right now, or that a lot of these other rookie running backs like Najee's getting whenever they first come in the league.
Yeah. Najee came in that thing going all pro. He said, give me the L Bell plan. Yeah, I want that. I'm like, bro, as a rookie, you almost have 400 touches. Think about that. As a rookie, that's a lot.
I love it in theory. There's nothing wrong with it. You just got to have a dude that can come in and you could trust.
Yeah. Because I think they were saying, it was a list of running backs they were pulling up with, like, all these carries. Zeke was up there, and they were saying, like, I think he was the only one that has lasted as long as he's lasted. When you talk about,
but he ain't the same either.
And that was the whole reason why they were kind of like, yeah, you don't want to do that, because if he was quote unquote like the best version of these running, I think it was on NFL.com actually.
He still got 1,000 yards, I think, last year.
But they were saying like if he was the best version of that, it's like, man, you don't really want to tap into that like that. You want to start to dial that back a little bit. Yeah, he definitely looks noticeably different, man. Like in terms of Zeke.
Well, I mean, stats, still 4.2 yards a carry last year.
Eyeball test.
Yeah.
There's a difference, man.
Less carries, but that's why they probably are giving a little bit more to Pollard. Last year, 4 yards a carry still. 2019, 4.5. 26.
So who would you say had the better season last year, Zeke or Najee?
Definitely Najee. Oh,
because you look at
Zeke's got 10 tutties.
And the 4-1, right? Because Najee was in 4 per.
I think he was. I think he barely got it.
Pull it up. I don't think it was 4 per, bro.
Ooh, I guess it maybe depends on what stat you look at if they're rounding up.
What you mean? Rounding up?
I'm just telling you, I've seen 4-0. It was 3 for most of the season. His last 2 weeks, though, got him up.
Bro. Just pull it up.
Especially the Browns game.
We just going to pull it up. We'll find out.
Ready?
Yeah.
Big bet on this?
I say 3-8.
Dinner?
What is
I'm
it?
saying 4. Oh, 3-9.
Come on.
Split?
Yeah, so I win.
No.
It's not 4. That's what I said, bro. You can't round it up. It's not 4.
I'm telling you. Hold on. This is Pro Football Reference. Let me check ESPN.
Everybody check 3-9, 3-8, 3-9.
Hold on. ESPN.
All right, let's see what they do.
3-9. Come on.
Come on, bro. I don't know. Maybe
Where did I see
it was when you was dreaming about Al in the house and all that stuff. You was talking about that one time. That's what you was talking about right there, man.
No, I gotta say Najee had the better season though. Still, with what he had to deal with our offensive line,
Not fair enough.
the catching too, had 200 more yards, even though Zeke had the 10 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll give it to Najee.
Not fair enough. I'm with you. I was just bringing it up because you were like, when you were talking about Zeke, you was like, oh, it wasn't that bad though. He still had 4 yards per carry. I'm like, I didn't think Zeke had that good of a year last year. I think that Najee had the way better year. But that's what I was, I don't like just stats on.
Probably more of a struggle for Najee, though. I didn't see every Cowboys game, but they still have a solid line. They still had a solid offensive system that they were running.
Yeah.
High powered. Ours just unfortunately wasn't there last year.
Yeah.
Organizational sabotage. You thought I was going to blame Ben? Yeah, right. No way.
At least you're consistent, baby. You're consistent.